Hi, everybody, and welcome back. This is Module 3 of our Small Business Management and Entrepreneurship class. And in this module, we're going to kind of take things a step further. We're going to move from planning and creating ideas for our business and get into actually setting up and protecting our business. Okay, and we're going to cover 3 key areas in this module because we know in this short 8-week course that we kind of cover a lot of material in each module, but you can handle this. You can get through it. What we're going to cover is how to register and license your business, how to choose the right location for your business, and how to protect your business from risks, because that is very important. And these steps kind of start coming together to take your business again from an idea to something real and something sustainable. Okay. Now, once you've chosen your business idea and name, the next step is to make it official. And you make it official by registering your business. And what does that mean? What does it mean to register your business? It means to legally establish your business with the government. Okay. And that includes choosing a business structure, like we talked about, sole proprietorship or LLC. It means registering your business name with the proper authorities. It means filing with the appropriate state or local agencies. And now in Texas, most businesses register with the Secretary of State or the county clerk, and then you pay a fee. Okay. And licensings and permits are going to kind of come into this depending on your business. You may also need some local permits. You may need state license. For some things, you need federal license. Just for example, doctors, real estate agents, and cosmetologists all require license in Texas. You cannot just open up your house and start charging people to cut their hair or color their hair. You can cut and color people's hair for free if you want to, if you enjoy it and want to do that for your friends, but you cannot set up as a business and charge people money to do that without being licensed in the state of Texas. Okay. And that applies for several things. So the thing to do is just be sure that you check and find out what the rules are for your industry. Okay. The same thing is going to kind of apply with zoning rules. Sometimes you see this come into play with home businesses. If you plan to run a business out of your home, you need to understand what the zoning laws are, because zoning laws are particular to your community and they control what type of businesses can operate in certain areas and how your property can be used. Okay. You might not be able to be in your neighborhood and open a bakery because of the high traffic that's going to be coming in and out of that neighborhood, and that area may not be zoned for that. They may not want businesses opening in those particular neighborhoods. Okay, so you just need to make sure, again, that you follow the rules related to your area and your industry so you don't get started and then immediately get shut down. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about location, because location is one of the most important decisions you're going to make about your business, because you can have a great business and a bad location can hurt your business. I know, again, that not everyone lives in Carthage, but I do. And there are 2 locations in Carthage where multiple really good restaurants have opened up. And I'm not sure what it is about these locations, but the restaurants open, they go for a while, they close. Somebody else opens one, they go for a while, they close. And now eventually, I've been here since 2005. I've seen both of those locations be 3 or 4 restaurants. And now one is a daycare and one is sitting empty. So there's obviously something about that location that was not working. Okay. So a bad location can really hurt you. And so you have to think about what makes a good location. One thing you need to consider is, where are your customers, right? Again, in Carthage, a lot of fast food restaurants have opened immediately across from the high school, which is just down from the college. So they know where their customers are. They know they're going to get foot traffic. They know they're going to have visibility, right? One thing about location is you need to make sure there's some accessibility. And sometimes that's hard in small, older towns. There's not a lot of parking. And there's for sure not a lot of parking for the size vehicles we're all driving these days. So you need to make sure there's good roads to get to your business and a place for your customers to park. Okay. Of course, with location, you're going to have to consider costs. The rent and utilities are going to have to fit within the budget you have to keep your business running. Okay. You need to consider nearby competitors. You need to consider safety. Is it a safe neighborhood? Is it a place where your employees can come in and out without feeling like they're in danger, where you're not thinking you're going to get robbed every day? And is there a place to grow? Does your location offer you growth opportunities? Okay, so those are some things that you need to consider when you're thinking about location for a business. And now also you need to discover different types of business locations, right? Because we tend to think when we're thinking location, we're thinking, okay, I'm going to rent this building and open this store. But not all businesses require that. There are several options. There are home-based businesses, and that's obviously lower cost because you're already paying for your home. There's more flexibility because you're kind of working at home, right? And that type of business is growing due to remote work and technology. A lot of it is online type businesses or worked out of homes because, again, you have to be careful if you start selling things from your home and be sure you're zoned from that. There is the stereotypical thing we think about, brick and mortar locations. That's got a physical storefront, a physical office. It requires buying or leasing property. It creates a lot more overhead, but it also creates a lot more visibility for your business. Okay. Something that's kind of newish and up and coming is these pop-up locations, which is like a temporary setup. These businesses that sell lots of it tends to be craft type things or candles, lotions, that kind of thing, where they set up at events, markets. They have short-term stores. You even could possibly put like food trucks in this category, especially if they move around a lot. Like this barbecue is available in the Walmart parking lot today, but it won't be here tomorrow, which kind of creates some excitement, right? It's like, oh, I got to go get the barbecue today because tomorrow I will not be able to. I might not know where the truck is. So those are pop-up locations and how they work. And then there are fully online businesses, which of course have the lowest overhead. They have access to a very large market because it really doesn't matter where you physically are. If your business is online, the world is your customer base, right? That requires a strong digital presence and a know-how of how to market online because you have to kind of push your own visibility a little differently than you do if you have a brick and mortar location. Okay, and the best choice is just going to depend on your business type, budget, and goals. Okay, now, the third section of this module talks about protecting your business. Your business is up and running. You need to protect it because there's all kind of risks that are bigger than maybe what you think about in your day-to-day life. There's lawsuits, there's theft, there's natural disasters, which can affect a business just like they affect a home. And you need to think about legal protection. And one of the first protections that we've already talked about is your business structure. Again, I've mentioned our LLC protects our personal assets. If something goes wrong with my husband's business, they cannot come take my home because an LLC setup means your personal money and property are protected. They're separate from what is the business, okay? So business setup is very important for managing risks. Insurance is important. Business insurance is essential. And some common types of insurance are liability insurance. Those are help protect you if somebody falls down. If you have a store and somebody falls down or sues you, that covers it. Property insurance is just like home insurance. It protects your building. It protects your equipment. It's like, think about the stuff you have in your personal life. You have house insurance or car insurance in case something happens to those very expensive assets in your life. You don't just lose them. They're not just gone. There's some money that comes back, right? Okay, if you have employees, workers' compensation, because that's going to help you cover your employees. If you have business vehicles, you need auto insurance, just like personal autos. Insurance is just a financial safety net, and you really need to make sure if you open your own business that you speak with a lawyer or a CPA or someone with a lot of know-how who understands what all you need to make sure you are protected, okay? Contracts and intellectual property is something else you need to do. Make sure you understand when it comes to protecting your business. Contracts protect your business by defining responsibilities, payments, and expectations, okay? And this can be between you and employees or between you and suppliers. And a valid contract is going to require an offer, an acceptance, and consideration, okay? Something of value that is exchanged. Now, you also need to make sure you protect your intellectual property, right? If you start a business based on a brand new innovative idea, don't just put that out to the whole world to see before you've got it covered with trademarks, copyrights, patents, whatever applies. That way no one can steal your intellectual property and use it to make their own money and possibly end up, if they have better ability to market it, making more money off of it than you do, okay? Then there, of course, we already kind of talked about this and when we discuss location. There's security and risk management. You need to protect. Again, you need to make sure that everyone is physically protected at your location. You need to make sure that they're protected against theft or emergencies. I would recommend security cameras, alarm systems. You need to have some sort of employee training and policies in place. You need to have emergency plans. And one thing to remember when you're protecting your business in ways that affect other people, remember that your reputation is a very valuable asset. So you need to protect it by treating customers well and responding to issues quickly. And part of that is making sure that everyone that comes onto your physical property feels safe. Okay, now to kind of just wrap up this module, registering your business is very important. It makes it legal and credible. Choosing the right location is going to help you reach customers and help you grow. And protecting your business ensures long-term success and stability. Because think how awful it would be to have a business up and it's really getting going, and then something happens that you don't have yourself covered for, and it all falls apart over a financial situation that you cannot cover. Okay, guys, that's really it for this module. You have 3 quizzes in this module, but I think you're kind of seeing that the quizzes in this course are generally more than answer the multiple choice question. So just be sure that you give them the consideration and the thought that they need. I am absolutely okay with you using the module information to help you with the quizzes. Just I caution you, make sure that you open a second tab and, pull Canvas up twice. So the quiz is over here and the modules are over here, because if you close the quiz, it's not going to let you back in, and you're going to have to get with me about letting you back in, which I will probably understand and do, but it's going to slow down your progress. So just do yourself a favor and make sure you don't close the quiz in the middle. Okay, as always, if you have any issues, just let me know. Reach out to me with any questions, and I will see you in Module 4.